This is a Glassbox Media podcast.
Like, no one in your house is, like, not good looking.
Yeah.
So what the fuck?
Yeah.
And even the short guy was still good looking.
Not bad looking.
Right.
Did you hear that there was another couple who got engaged that didn't get featured?
What?
I heard there were like
Yes.
2 more.
There was one more. It was the guy, because I kept being like, why the fuck do they have Dr. Phil in their house? Because remember that guy that they kept going to and they were like talking
That's
to
right.
him?
The one who was a
his name-
virgin. He
his
was a
name's-
virgin, right?
He kept giving
Rory?
advice.
Rory or something?
Yeah, he kept like giving advice, and I was
Yeah.
like, he's just there to fucking give advice to people.
Yeah.
And it turned out that he was still there because there was another girl on the
LC.
other side. It wasn't LC. There was another girl on the other side who he proposed to. They got they got engaged. They went to Mexico, but then the producers were like, we can only follow this many like people, so they cut them out of the show completely.
Yeah, they
Shit.
weren't expecting to get like so much. Like they
Right.
didn't think that
That many couples would get engaged. They were like maybe 1 or 2, and then
Right.
they ended up with like 5 or 6, and they were
they're
like, well,
"Ugh,
we
yeah.
have to cut some of you motherfuckers out.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wild.
but what a bummer. Like, and also their story was more wild because it turned out at the end they didn't stay together, and she ended up getting with someone else
Yeah.
from the
from the
pods.
show.
And so I'm like, you should have followed them. That would have been crazy.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
I want to see that. I want to watch that season.
Well,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
so for our listeners, like obviously we're talking about the
Love is
beautiful
Blind.
and amazing new soap opera, Love is Blind. These guys have watched it all the way through to the reunion. I'm only on episode 3, so I got to power through. We will be recording our thoughts on the show and releasing it next Monday. So if you want to hear our thoughts on this is just a bonus episode that we're putting out for Patreon. Any single level gets it. So if you've been putting off donating to the Patreon or getting involved in that cool club to get bonus features,
You are not going to want to miss our thoughts on this
we
because
have so many.
we have so many,
I
and
got
Cassie and I
notes.
are literally like bursting at the seams, ready to talk about it,
Right.
and we're having to contain it. So when we are able to,
Yes.
it will be an explosion.
Yes, because I am only 3 episodes in. I have literally pages of notes.
So
I have
many.
so
Oh,
many thoughts. Yeah.
I braided so Anthony went out of town last Sunday, and so I dropped him off at the airport. I knew I was gonna like put my hair in twists, which always takes me like 4-5 hours to do, and so I was like, I am gonna just settle in. It was like
Buckle down.
It was like noon. I was like, I'm gonna get a michelada tall boy, right?
Nice.
So I got a michelada tall boy. I turned on Love Is Blind, and I was like, we're gonna do this. I'm watching the rest of this series, and I just watched like 6 episodes in a row.
That's amazing.
good.
I will say they get you because I was like, I'm only gonna watch like 1 episode,
Like,
and
no, I
then we
need
can
to know
watch
what
something
happens.
else. But the way they cut it at the end, I'm like, well, we
gotta
gotta
know.
see.
Girl,
what
wait till you get to
happens.
the weddings.
Wait till you get to the fucking meet the family. Yikes
Dude,
on
even
bikes.
even the freaking like teasers for
Yeah.
like what's up next, I'm like, oh shit. And so I've been trying to guess because I'm like, that looks nasty, man.
I will say, I think that Love Is Blind, like, okay, this segues into something else that we can talk about. So the
Okay.
new Bachelorette has been announced.
Yes.
And she is, and I think that this is very like interesting. She is 38.
I love it.
It's the first time we've had a woman in her late 30s.
Wait, did I hear that they're gonna do older? Like,
There is going to be another reality show
I'm
that's
here for
all
that.
older people.
I'm here for
which
it.
I'm gonna watch the
I'm
shit
gonna
out
watch
of
it.
that.
Love it.
That sounds
love it.
It's gonna be some
brilliant.
cocoon shit. I'm
Yes.
watching the fuck out of that. That sounds
Oh my
amazing.
God, I haven't seen that movie in ages.
Yeah, I'm absolutely watching that. But this isn't that. This is because like I didn't watch Peter's season of The Bachelor, but apparently it was like a full on shit show where like it's like, yeah,
They're,
this
like,
is what you
reset.
get when you have like a bunch of 21-year-olds like together fighting over a guy. Like it's a nightmare. So they were like,
terrible.
we're gonna get an older woman from an older woman from
More
the
mature.
Bachelor universe,
Right.
Because they don't cast anyone over 25. I swear to God, I watched like Ari's season where he was like an older Bachelor and he was like 35, and they cast a woman who was 32. Holy shit!
Yeah,
it was
people
like
freaked out.
everyone was like, she's an old lady.
Yeah.
Because she was
Okay.
cast on the show. And so like that's why they were like, we're gonna go with somebody who's in her late 30s.
I
Mature.
fucking love it
Yeah.
because that's the thing is that it's such a fucking tricky age to date.
Mm-hmm.
But it's great because like in your 30s, like you really come into who
That's
you
right.
are and what you want. But you also have that added pressure as a woman of like, do you want kids or not?
Mm.
And at 38, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
you better
Mhm.
kind of decide that.
I will
quickly.
watch this show. I heard that a lot of
I'm
people
actually into it.
a lot of I'm super into it too.
Maybe
I'm
we
super
should
into it.
Follow it
I'll-
and maybe we keep continuing our Patreon thoughts. Maybe we do
Yeah.
Sure.
like
That'd be
episode by
great.
episode.
I like that.
I said
I-
maybe just in case we don't.
Yeah.
Don't fucking hold me to
No
it.
promises. No promises. But I heard that a lot of people in quote unquote Bachelor Nation don't like this woman. So we'll see. But
Okay.
I'm willing to watch it. And this is what ABC is banking on, I'm sure. Because like I'm willing to watch it just to see how they handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Are they gonna get all guys who are fucking older? Are they gonna get younger guys? Like how are they gonna do
yeah.
that?
Honestly, they should put younger guys on
should.
that
They
because
should
they constantly
absolutely.
put like
Yes.
young, like 20,
That's right.
early 20s with 35-year-old
you're gonna
guys,
have-
and that's acceptable.
That's right. Like on Ari's season, they had a 21-year-old. You got a 21-year-old and a 35-year-old guy, which I have no problem with.
Right.
Clearly, obviously, there's an 11-year age difference between me and my fiance. But like,
So it should be fine in reverse.
do
too.
it the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah, flip it the other way. I'm interested to see how that pans out. I'm down to watch it. And I was gonna say they had to do fucking something because Netflix is coming for your throat
Yeah.
with their own
Yeah.
shit because
Coming in hot.
the last few seasons of The Bachelor have been like kind of
Lame.
yeah, like lukewarm.
Yeah.
And then Love is Blind came out and people collectively lost their motherfucking shit.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys should feel threatened.
Well, and honestly, too, speaking to the ageist stuff, I have to confront my own thing with Jessica being one of the older women in there. Like,
She was only, what, 35?
she 34, 35, or she was 34, and then Mark was 24.
She said she's 34.
I
Yeah,
believe
she-
it.
She looked,
I don't know. Yeah, I feel the same.
she looked her age. She looked in her 30s.
Yeah.
And Mark looked in his 20s.
Exactly.
For sure. But then you get to know him, and I'm like, girl does not have a 34-year-old brain. That's for
No.
sure.
No.
Age ain't nothing but a number.
Yeah.
It was obvious
it's
that
like,
it bothered her, though.
her, but also, okay, and again, we're going to save our thoughts, but I will say it bothered her because she didn't want to be with him.
Right.
Because I'm like, the guy
But
that
she
she
was
was
fine.
so fucking thirsty for was only a couple years older.
I know,
Yeah, he was like
27.
28.
Yeah, they still
27.
had like a 7 or 8 year age difference. So
Right.
I'm just like, I don't,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying as far as like everyone making, well, not everyone. I mean, she's really the one who made a big deal about her age.
Yeah,
But the
literally
fact
no
that
one else
it
did.
was made a deal of on the show about her age, and she's 34.
But normalizing women in their 30s being like dateable sexual creatures is what it's all about right now. And having that representation, I think, definitely matters.
Yeah, I
you
am
know?
ready for the cocoon version.
For
I'm not
sure.
gonna lie. That sounds so fucking good to me.
For sure.
Well, I guess we should say that this is my worst date. I'm Cassie.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Christina.
Hey, and we have new patrons.
Yeah.
Very exciting. So we want to give a shout out to Adelaide Brow. I love the name Adelaide.
I do
I think that's
too.
so cute. I love that so much. We're so happy to have you. Welcome to our Patreon family. We're going to get you your rewards in the mail soon.
Yeah, and make sure you tune in on Monday to listen to the Love is Blind.
Right. So, Adelaide, this is your warning. If you have not listened to Love is Blind yet, you need to go binge it so that you're ready for that reward that's coming super soon. I also wanted to give a shout out to Rebecca, who is a patron of ours. She is also a member of our Facebook group. She's amazing. I love her so much. She invited us to come to her restaurant and see her. She's a hostess at a really nice restaurant here in LA.
So nice.
And unfortunately, Cassie was out of town.
But my husband went in my stead.
Yeah, yes. And it was actually so cute. So me and Chris went. Anthony wasn't able to go, but he chauffeured us. He drove us there and dropped us off. And so me and Chris went in. We beat Christina. And we went up and immediately she was like, oh, hi. And I was like, hey, because I'd seen her on social media. Like I knew what she looked like too. You know? And so we hugged and then she looked at Chris and she went, Chris.
She knew. He was famous by proxy, and it's amazing.
So wonderful. It was so cute. Like because like Chris was taken aback. It was like so sweet, and she took such amazing care of us all night. Like
such a sweetheart.
It was wonderful. It was such a fun night, such a fun experience. So thank you so much, Rebecca. We love and appreciate you very much.
Sad I missed it, and next time for sure I'll be there. But I'm so glad Chris got to enjoy that with you guys. That's awesome.
Yay.
All right. So in our Facebook group.
Okay.
This came up and it made me laugh so fucking hard. And I thought it would be like a funny question to ask you guys. I think maybe we've talked about this before, but I want to read some of these because I think they're hilarious. So someone posted stupid or strange reasons why people broke up with their partner.
Oh my
Did you guys
God,
read these?
No.
Oh my God, they're hilarious. Okay.
So like deal breaker kind of things?
Like, or just something that maybe you didn't. I mean, because they're weird. Like, so you probably didn't expect that this may be an issue going into a relationship, but then you're like, oh no, I can't do that.
It's things like the Ashley Judd poster over the bed.
Yeah, or like not believing in dinosaurs. Like, you know, like, you're like, oh no, I can't. But these are even more petty than that. Okay, so 1, he didn't take off his underwear during sex.
Okay, but that
ever.
Wait,
just push it to the side.
Wait,
if you're wearing, he pulled it out of the opening of the boxers. Like how?
No, I hate this.
I was with somebody that wore socks. I thought that was
I hate
bad.
that too.
I wear socks all the time
during sex.
I think sometimes, yeah. Look, I'm lazy. You guys know I'm lazy. I'm not trying to
Anthony, blink twice if you're okay.
I'm 1, lazy, and 2, always cold. Yeah. So I'm like, how many pieces of clothing can I keep on?
I gotta be honest with you. I gotta be honest. I'm always cold, also lazy, and I gotta be honest. I don't think I could with socks on.
Yeah,
there's something completely unsexy about that.
Sorry, I don't. I'm like, this is what you're getting. Like, I'm tired and cold.
There you go. There you go.
But you don't keep your underwear on?
No.
Which would be less awkward, to be honest, than a guy.
Yeah.
I do not keep my underwear on. No, some guys think that that's sexy when women keep their underwear on. They just like push them to the side or whatever. But a dude? Also every time. Like it's not like a one time. I was so excited. I just had to do it right now and couldn't take my underwear off. It was like every time.
1,000 questions.
No. Okay.
1,000.
Dated a guy who said my bag instead of my bad.
No.
Oh my God.
My bag. Nope.
She would write, I have to go. Half. Like a half order of fries.
No. Yeah.
He pronounced the L in salmon.
That reminds me of that John Morgan ordering quiche.
What?
Instead of quiche.
Oh no.
Quiche.
Oh no, quiche. Get the fuck out of here.
And it's like little things like that where you're like, that shouldn't. Like we talked about it in our double date with Private Parts Unknown where she's like, I broke up with a guy because I didn't like the way he ate nuts. And like maybe if I'd like stuck it through with him, we could have had something really beautiful, but I couldn't get over the way he ate nuts. Yeah. And I'm like, it's the same thing. It's like she just couldn't get over him pronouncing the L in salmon.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't do it.
I don't think I could either.
He said,
we definitely would be like,
you're like, that's not how it's pronounced.
I'm sorry.
Chris says album.
I know.
And that
we've
drives
talked about that.
me crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, Chris, album, sugar, sugar. I'm like, that's so some cute country Columbus shit that I don't know about.
He said, He said creme rinse instead of conditioner. Did you creme rinse? She ate her chicken drumstick. She ate her chicken. Wow, chirkin. She ate her chicken drumstick with a fork, which at first I was like, "That's fine." I eat my wings with a fork, and her T-bone steak with her hands.
Okay. I was willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Yay.
She said Burger King, and I just couldn't bear it.
Not like as a drunk accident. Like that's just constantly Burger King.
She refused to eat anything besides chicken nuggets and French fries. No substitutions.
Chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets.
No.
But can you imagine? Like that's all. That's all
You're gonna
you eat.
Die.
Like
Absolutely not.
yeah,
I hate that.
Wasn't there an article that came out a couple of years ago that like this kid in
You're gonna die.
and there was this kid in England who had like. He was like extremely deficient. Like he was like on the verge of death because all he would eat was potatoes and
Fast
pizza
food
or something like that.
Yeah.
And his parents like didn't force him to eat anything else, and he was so nutrient deficient.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys have anything like that? Is there anything like weird that you're like, this should not be a deal breaker? Like not a deal breaker, but like have you dated someone where you broke up with them for like a dumb reason or seemingly dumb reason?
Well, the Ashley Judd poster was definitely up there.
But you didn't break
Me.
up with him because of that, did you? You should have.
I mean,
but...
no, I gave other reasons, but yeah, that was really, I think, like symbolic
Tops.
of what was wrong.
It really stuck with you, so it must have been intense.
I just think about like how like what a subtle, shitty thing that is to do, to like hang another picture of a very attractive woman, a large poster, in fact, over a bed that you're sharing with someone else. It's just like
so
subtle. And, you know, we're all like insecure at like 18. You know what I mean?
We're all insecure as humans.
Yeah.
Like humans are insecure. You know?
I'm like, you know, just learning about sex and my own sexuality. And
then
it's
you
just
have
like,
fucking Ashley Judd
so I'm
watching
like
you.
competing with a poster. It was so fucking bizarre. So, yeah.
Man. I can't think of anything. I'm trying to think of like a petty thing that I've actually broken up with somebody over. I can't think of anything. I will later. I'll re-listen to this later and be like, oh, boom.
I don't think my dating experience was like vast enough for me to have broken up with someone over a petty reason. Like,
but have you ever not dated somebody because of a petty reason?
I don't think so, because we've discussed this before. Like, my dating standard was, does he like me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's enough. You know what I mean? So I dated all kinds of people that, looking back, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, your standards should have been higher than that. Like, Keegan, you were better than that. But I
think all mine have been good reasons.
Yeah, I didn't date somebody one time because he would the only activities that he had in his life was working as a bartender at Damon's, a place for ribs.
Thank you.
And then
a place for ribs. And then coming home wasted to watch The Big Lebowski.
That's a good reason.
That's a good reason.
And I was like, kind of seems like hobby or something else in there would make you more palatable.
So did he watch The Big Lebowski over and over?
Over and over. I've probably seen that movie because he was a roommate too, which is also a good reason not to date somebody.
That's a great reason.
Don't date your roommate.
No, it's a great reason.
ever.
Nope, that's a great reason.
So yeah, I've probably seen that movie about 200 times
I think it's funny when people get like a bee in their bonnet about a movie. Like, Anthony's notorious about this. Like, he can watch the same movie over and over and over. When we first started dating, his movie was The Departed. He watched The Departed every day. Like, I swear to God, he watched that thing, like, he watched that movie every day. And then for a while, it was like World War Z. It was like World War Z, like, every day.
Oh my gosh. I get like that with songs. I'll do that.
And then I get like that with songs.
I'll listen to a song like 100 times.
I will ruin a song.
Speaking of, you guys, okay.
I will watch a movie too over and over.
I know I'm late to this party.
Blonde.
I'm totally late to this party, but like, I started listening to today I was listening to Lana Del Rey's Norman fucking Rockwell
Yeah,
album.
dude, it's great.
That album is fucking great. And the only
it
song
slaps.
you ever... It does slap. It slaps hard. And the only song you ever hear from that fucking album is her Sublime cover, which is, in my opinion, the worst
weakest
song
one
on
on
that
the
album.
album.
Like, the album is so good.
Yeah,
I was
she got
listening to it today.
fucked at the Grammys this year, honestly. I mean, I love
Because
Billie.
she's the too old Billie Eilish.
Yeah, exactly. She paved the way.
Yeah,
she
she's
paved the way for
she's
Billie.
the same energy, and
Yep.
and
Wow.
Fiona Apple paved the way for her. It's
Yep.
like that sad girl, like kind of depressed energy.
Well, that hits.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
like, you know,
That's
the
real.
truth.
You're speaking truth. Yeah,
Looking for the lie.
looking for the lie. Well, now we've got sad girls.
Oh,
for Fuck, Marry,
shit.
Kill.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Lana, Billie, Fiona.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Let's
okay.
do
Billy's
it.
18, so I feel
Oh,
still gross, but slightly less gross.
yeah. I think I know what I'm
Fuck,
gonna do.
Marry, Kill. Billie Eilish.
I'm
Fiona
going-
Apple.
I know what I'm gonna do.
and Lana Del Rey.
I-
Go
Pave
for
the
it.
way, Cassie.
I'm gonna kill Billie Eilish. I don't like that look that she gave at the Oscars. I'm gonna say it. I don't like it. To my
She
girls,
tried to
to my
defend
homegirls?
it,
No.
and I was like, no.
No, don't
I
like it.
didn't like it at
Don't
all.
like it.
And I loved her album and everything, but I kind of feel like she's a little privileged too.
What was her defense? So if you guys don't know, she gave a look whenever it was Kristen Wiig and Maya Rudolph were doing a bit. It was hilarious.
Which was fucking
It was
hilarious.
so funny. They're amazing.
Her
and they,
excuse was she saw herself on the monitor and she was making that face at herself.
Okay.
I think that's possible.
It's
I'm willing
possible,
to give her the benefit of the
but-
doubt.
Okay. Well, that actually. Okay, that might. As an 18-year-old, that's an 18-year-old move for sure.
Yeah.
I could maybe see that. Like she's probably like, "Ugh, God." Like, okay, that makes more sense to me because it didn't make sense why she would do that.
Right.
during that.
Yeah.
Okay, still killing her. I am going to.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Don't care. Moving on. I am going to fuck Fiona Apple because that bitch is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I
That's
feel like
gonna be-
Lana Del Rey is crazy too.
I'm gonna marry Lana Del Rey.
Yeah. I can see that, actually. I can see that for you.
Yeah, I see that for you.
I love that journey for you.
Yeah.
good.
I don't know. I feel like I'm going to fuck Lana Del Rey because I feel like she does really kinky shit in bed. Like I think
Okay.
because she had that album cover where like there was like a hand on her throat and shit. I'm like, she is into some stuff that's gonna be really fun. A lot of her songs are also explicitly more sexual than
Yeah.
Fiona Apple's
So I'm
songs.
marrying her.
So I am going to fuck her. I'm going to marry Fiona Apple. I like Fiona Apple. I think she's got like a real soulful energy that I
She
can get
scared
down
me.
with. I like her. I'm gonna marry her, and I'm gonna kill Billie Eilish. Not for any reason except for that she's 18 and like I'm
And your
like,
age.
I don't
get
like
it.
I don't like any 18-year-olds. Have you
Same.
talked to one?
That's
Same.
exactly right. I mean, like Fiona Apple put out Criminal when she was 18. Like,
Yeah.
like I have no shade. Like, do you be
Yeah,
amazing?
music is
I'm so
awesome.
fucking. And also, I am like such a Gen Z champion. I'm like, you guys are fucking great.
Oh,
I
hell yeah.
love Gen Z. I'm like, you guys are out here doing the shit.
Doing the damn thing.
That's amazing.
Did you hear what the newest generation is
Oy.
called?
I don't know
Which
what.
one's going to be deleted next?
Gen Alpha.
What the fuck does that mean?
It means they're like they didn't want to go back to A after Gen Z. So they decided to call it Alpha for right now because all those people are like 10 and younger, so they have to wait to see.
Who decided to call it Alpha, like a Gen Xer? Because Alpha means something different to like millennials and below.
Right.
It means something different for Gen Xers too. I believe.
I don't think to
Yeah.
my mom, like who's a Gen
that's
Xer.
true.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
I'm like,
technically, my generation was our generation. Christina and I, our generation was completely wiped
Gen
out.
Y.
Gen
Yeah.
Y. It's completely wiped out, and they try to like either meld us into elder millennial or
Right.
end of Gen Xers.
I'm going to do something completely different, so we'll all three be different.
Okay.
I disagree about Lana Del Rey being kinky because watching her
Really?
perform live, she's very, very stiff. First time I saw Lana Del Rey perform live was on SNL.
Maybe she's
and it
just
was-
repressed though, and sometimes those people are like the most nasty.
Yeah, that's true. But seeing her do that SNL performance, I was like, who is this chick? Now, I ended up getting into her music and everything. She does write like very explicitly, but I think she
wasn't
talks a
great
big...
on SNL though. You're right. I saw her on SNL and I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Billie Eilish was actually really good on SNL.
And she trying to say that she didn't rip off Radiohead with that one song. And I was like, girl,
bye.
don't lie.
That's fair.
Lies
Don't
don't look
lie.
good on you.
So I'm going to kill her. I'm going to kill her.
Okay.
Not interested. I'm going to marry Fiona Apple because I think she's very cerebral. I've always had a crush on her. I've been listening to her for years. I feel like we could have really weird, fucked up conversations.
Absolutely. Like
Yeah.
she's going to have some weird, deep fucking conversations
Yeah.
with you. And also like she did something I really loved recently and I can't remember who she donated to, but she donated all of her royalties for Criminal to some organization.
Oh, you're right. I
Yeah.
heard about this too.
Yeah. And I was like, God, that's so lovely. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I like that.
I'm marrying her.
She also. Oh shit! What was I gonna say? Totally. Oh, she's gonna talk to you about that thing that I tagged you in on Instagram, where they were saying about fucking. What was it? It was like
something about aliens or something.
Aliens are whatever we are.
Oh, we're evolved
Evolved humans.
Yeah.
I was like, oh
Yes.
shit! This is gonna be a
Fiona
combo.
Apple is going to do shrooms with you at Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what Fiona Apple is
For
going to
sure.
do. And she's going to do it, but she's also got like money. So she's going to do it. And then you guys are going to go back to like a glamp van.
Yeah.
Like, or like a really nice like RV.
Super like
Yeah.
cool like Airbnb.
Because she's bohemian, but she's been rich for long enough that she's like, I'm not that bohemian.
Right, exactly.
Reining it back.
Exactly. And so then I'm gonna fuck Billie Eilish. There's something about I'm like her youthful energy, and something about this makes me want to put her in her place.
Okay.
So
You
like
can definitely
all
teach
right.
her some shit.
I feel like I'm gonna be like I'm gonna show you a thing or two, and I don't
Okay.
know. There's something about it. So
Okay.
All right.
so yeah,
I see that.
Yeah,
Did you guys,
Sad girls. I like it.
yeah.
Did you guys see David Byrne? On
Yes.
SNL? Which John Mulaney again?
I fucking love John Mulaney.
Like, just keep him as the constant host.
Jake Gyllenhaal in that airport sushi.
Fucking hilarious.
So good.
I
I
died.
love Jake Gyllenhaal. I have a secret crush on him, like big time.
Kinda.
Doesn't need to be secret.
Yeah.
That's
Kinda.
okay.
Super weird
Yeah,
and so cute.
he's super cute.
Did you
Yeah.
see Nightcrawler? Were you just
Yes.
like, whoa?
Yes. And I was like 911 because I
911.
want him to come take pictures at my
Fucking-
place
What is
right
the
now.
thing where it's just like there are certain instances like
Like
there's
you.
Matthew Good.
Oh.
Honestly, okay, this could
Yeah.
be a future fuck, marry, kill because there's Matthew Good in Stoker.
Oh
Which
yeah.
if you still haven't seen Stoker, like
Oh.
Seen
where
it.
he is the creepiest person on earth, but you're still kind of like, why am I like super attracted to you?
I
right
want
now?
to see the movie with him as like a vampire with the witch.
I
You
don't
guys
know what
what
that
you're
is.
talking about.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. I'll look it up and show it to you guys. But I'm like,
he's there's something about like I don't know, like him in Stoker, Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawler,
Mhm.
and then sure, like Joe in
Fassbender.
you, but
in oh my god, he's played a creeper and stuff too, and I'm always like,
wasn't he in like
Oh, you
didn't he
sinister
play one where he
motherfucker.
was like a sex addict?
yes, that's
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
where you're like, ooh, but also,
Well, so
But
Me
also
too.
Come and knock on my door.
oh, we've been waiting for you. Exactly. Well, you guys want to take 5 and we'll come back with stories?
Sounds good.
and we're back.
Yes, we are.
I do not have the coronavirus.
We
I
are
promise.
back at it. Oh my gosh, I have to tell you guys, dude, it is making me so fucking insane. So, full disclosure, and I'm sorry to Anthony if he's listening, but he used to talk to me about this person who would sit next to him at work who chewed really loudly.
Oh,
And
I
it
just got
made him
chills.
it made him so crazy that like and the first few times I was like, I'm so sorry, like that sucks.
sucks.
That sucks.
Yeah.
But then he like kept talking to me about it and I was like, all right, I get it. Like it sucks.
Yeah.
But there is someone at work who sits on the other side of the cubicle from me. And all day, you guys, this is what I hear.
Oh no! Trigger warning! No! Why would you do that?
Because I hear it all day. I'm not even kidding. I hear it probably.
You're in your sleep now.
I hear it probably like fucking every 10 seconds. Like, I'm not exaggerating. Like, that's why I have Lana Del Rey's album in my fucking ears, because it's not just clearing his throat.
Yeah.
It's like, it sounds like he's about to hawk a loogie. Like, that's what it sounds like. And
do you know what
like,
I do when people do shit like that? Because this is awful. And this is how you can tell. I am passively aggressive. I'm like, do you need a cough drop? Do you need water? Do you need water? Do you need water?
I do feel like I would, but the way our cubicles are set up, they're really high, so I can't see him. So
also,
it's not
every time you do it,
even-
I'd be like, "What?"
it is the most like
Vomit.
because if it was throat clearing would be annoying.
Yeah.
But it's the sound of like he's digging deep
The gurgle.
that I'm like,
They're like, okay,
What if you
coronavirus.
just
Maybe
start,
I'm
start
sick.
throwing lozenges over the
yes.
wall?
I'm like soaking my hands in fucking sanitizer. Like, I'm like, oh, and I know that that's being so fucking like weird, but there is something about hearing him just like clear
No,
his
it's
throat.
too far.
And
Anyway.
I also have that Midwestern sensibility. And tell me if this is true, because y'all are Midwestern too. Do you get frustrated at sick people?
Yeah, where you're just like, suck it up, buttercup.
Yeah, totally.
There's
Yes.
something about being Midwest that's like,
Yeah.
don't
When
be,
was the last time you actually
don't
called
be-
off work
don't
for
be
being
sick in
And,
public.
like, we're wrong.
Don't be
We
sick.
are wrong.
I know.
I'm willing to say that. Like, we're wrong. Be sick. Like,
Don't be
I get it. But also, there is something where when he is clearing his throat that much, I'm like, is it a tick or is something wrong?
Yeah.
Like,
What is wrong with you?
Are
Do
you
you need
okay?
water?
Yeah. Do you need to go home?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my God.
sick.
but I don't think so. I think it's just something he does because I've been there
I
for a
could
month
not work
now,
that way.
and like it's just
No.
what he does. But it is. all
Can you
day.
imagine being his wife?
Yes, or his husband.
Oh,
Yes.
gotcha.
Yes,
Yeah.
but no.
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 Oh my
But
God.
no.
No.
I hate it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna preface this story by telling you that, okay, so this week I was in Phoenix. Well, the awesome thing about being in Phoenix is that one of my really fucking good friends that I've known for years that I used to work with at a hair color company before, we worked together for a while. She and I did not like each other at first. We both saw, oh, bitch, you can play the game. I can play the game. We saw this in each other initially.
I love when you know you need to match someone.
Yeah.
That happened to me at work this week where like I could tell I know her energy and
I know you.
I knew she was going to call me, and like I'm a pretty passive conflict averse person, but if I know that that's like who I'm dealing with, then I'm like, oh, I know I need to match you or you won't respect me. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
to
yeah.
go into this like
Yeah.
like I need to go into this being strong, because if you sense weakness, you're gonna
You're gonna
fucking
eat
come
your
for my
alive.
throat. Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think that both of us, that is a very, I think, Lindsay, you're going to listen to this and be like, I hear this and I see this. Yeah. So, but we became really fucking good friends. I fucking love her so much. So she moved to Phoenix. She used to live here in Los Angeles. She moved to Phoenix. And so when I was there, I got to go see her new house, and her and her wife like graciously like welcomed me in, and like we hung out for 2 nights. It was the
I love
fucking
that.
most amazing time. It was so much fun. I had like some nights and some evenings where I was done working and we got to hang. It was fucking amazing.
we had so much fun at her boss's house that
oh,
one
that's
night.
right. That's right. You met her.
Remember?
That's oh my God, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a fucking blasty
That's-
blast.
so funny. That's right. Yeah. So I got to see her when I was there.
Awesome.
Anywho, so this story is a story that her wife shared with me that I was like, girl,
I need you to put pen to paper
I'm
immediately.
gonna need this in an email stat
Need it.
immediately, if not sooner. So she did send it to me. Okay. So background: used to go to a bikini bar with work friends to grab drinks and play pool. I met R, a stripper, when I go to the bathroom. The girls' dressing room is next to the women's bathroom. Okay, as a stripper, I know this layout. Have you guys ever been to a strip club before?
Yeah.
Well, not all strip clubs are created equal. However, like some of the smaller strip clubs, when you when the women's restroom is just like an offshoot from like the dressing room.
Right.
That's it. Like it's
And that makes sense. I mean,
a
like
wide open
that's
door.
how-
That's what it is.
That's how theaters are as well. It's just like theaters and dressing rooms are right by each other because the performers need to get to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But these are like open.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like
They're open.
Yeah. Well,
Interesting.
I mean, the one I used to work at was. So it's like
Interesting. Okay.
an open doorway to the
Yeah.
So anyway, we talked and she asked for my number. I didn't hear from her, but I saw her when my friends and I went to the bar. One night, I stayed late and she offered me a ride home. Well, she got pulled over on the way home and was arrested because there were drugs in her car. I was asked to get on my knees, put my hands behind my back in an upside down prayer position while being questioned by the cops about who I am, what I do.
What state was she in? Did she say?
California.
Oh, California.
She's like, I'm a substitute teacher.
Oh no.
Oh my God. That's
She's a
so scary,
Baby
actually.
substitute teacher. No clue there's fucking drugs in the car and
my
just takes a
God.
ride home with this chick.
Oh no.
That is so scary.
We're near train tracks. It's past 2 a.m. and they let me go, but they tell me to get a ride. Art asks me to take the little suitcase of hers so it's not left in their car.
Absolutely fucking
It's
not.
her stripper outfits and shoes.
I'm like,
this shit's expensive.
I mean, it is expensive, but I'm like, what's in that suitcase? I don't trust
Okay.
you now.
exactly.
Well, I'm pretty sure the cops have already gone through it. Here's the thing, though. Like, the other side of that. Okay, no. Sidebar story. When I worked at the club in Columbus, there was a girl that I used to work with who had to borrow clothes from me one time because her cat pissed all over her fucking bag.
What did she do?
Thank you.
That's the first thing I say. I'm like, what did you do to piss your cat off? Because they don't just piss on shit just because.
No,
they're
they
mad.
don't.
Question one. That second question. Why'd you bring it inside? Your shitty, pissy smelling ass bag. Cat pissy ass smelling ass bag. Into the fucking dressing room.
Pissy smelling ass bag. That's amazing.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, but you're absolutely right because like
Okay.
cat pee has
It's
such
the
a distinct
worst.
odor. Like
Yeah.
it is
So strong.
Imagine stripping with that smell.
Giving a lap dance with that.
No.
That guy like, goes home. His wife's like, "Did a cat piss on you?"
And he's like, yes, absolutely.
Yes,
That's what happened.
Was the cat wearing sparkles?
Oh my
There's
god.
so much glitter everywhere.
Oh my
Glittery
god.
cat. Don't ask.
Oh my god.
My roommate picks me up and doesn't ask questions. Good roommate.
Yeah.
I can't remember how.
I
but
would
a friend-
100% ask questions though. I'm such a nosy fucking bitch. I'm like, was there drama? Did drama happen?
Oh, I know. I
Tell
want to
me
know all of it.
everything. I'm like, I picked you up. This is my Uber rate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All the tea.
Give me all the tea. Yeah.
Everything. I can't remember how, but a friend of hers showed up to my place to pick up her suitcase. And about a few days later, I don't hear from her for months. So that's just the background. Here's
I'm sorry. There's more.
That was exposition.
that's right.
Okay. Character development.
So
I'm
that's
in.
right. So Ray, I'm just the old guy who came in to tell the little bit of background story before the opening sequence.
Your what's his face, Sam Watterson.
That's
or
right.
Whatever.
Oh, I love him.
The mustache.
It's like broom mustache.
Yes.
The date. I'm driving home from a friend's after hanging out one night about 10 p.m. and she calls me. Gives me a story about the drugs not being hers, asks me to come over, and makes it pretty clear it's to hook up. I go.
All right.
I know it's a huge idiot move. My reasoning is I'm gay and I'm in the closet, and even my family doesn't know. I don't know how to meet women, and it was like all I had at the time, and I totally fucking get that.
Yeah.
You're like, I gotta do what I gotta do.
I
No
get that.
shame.
And also, bad girl vibes.
Okay.
Like, look,
Yeah.
we've all been there.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Amen.
Yeah, shit's gonna be wild.
Yeah. And I thought she was super cute and sweet. Still, it was super dumb, but at least now I have this fucking stellar story. I get to her house and we're kissing for about 5 minutes. I go to the bedroom and it's around midnight. We're making out. We hear something outside. She's convinced it's her crazy, jealous ex and that he'll go ape shit if he knows I'm there. We hear another noise. Bitch pulls out a fucking hunting knife out from her pillow.
Oh no!
Oh, I just got chills.
No, like guys, weapons do not belong in the bed.
Weapons do not belong on dates.
No.
Weapons
in
It's a
your.
no.
I was just laying on that pillow. Absolutely not.
God.
I freak out and ask her to put it away. Text him that she's and text him that she's sleeping or some excuse and tell her to go away. She's like, tell him I'm my fucking cousin or something. I'm your cousin. Like, tell him to go
I'm
away.
just staying the night. I'm just your good friend.
I'm your cousin.
Yeah.
She tells me that he showed up because he's supposed to take her somewhere in the morning. I'm like,
In the morning.
yeah.
Why the fuck is he here now? That's not an explanation. I don't understand.
She's like, I text him and tell him that she's got a ride. She's like, I'll fucking take you wherever. Don't worry about it. I'll take you wherever. So she tells me he's left. So now I'm fucking spending the night because I'm afraid to go to my car now and need to give her a ride in the morning. But wait, it's not just her. It's her goddamn daughter too. I meet her when she comes into the room around 4 a.m. because she had a bad dream and needs water.
Oh,
no. That's not how you want to meet someone's kids.
Did not have any idea that her daughter even existed or anyone else was even in the house.
Oh.
She hops up on the bed and R gives her a hug and I get the fucking water. She goes back to her bed and I slept for a couple hours before they get up and get ready. So when I ask where I'm taking them, R says it's on the way back to where you live. Okay. She's like, I live in Orange County. Did I mention I drove her all the way out to her house in Lake Elsinore? So for anybody that knows, that's probably easily an hour drive.
Yeah.
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 Easily.
Yeah. So from Orange County to almost like above San Diego.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's more. It's
It's a bit of a drive.
Yeah.
Desperate closet gaze. Shame.
Oh.
So when I press and ask exactly, she tells me I'm dropping them off at the Norco jail so that her daughter can visit her dad. Seriously? I just say, okay, take them, and never heard from her again.
Oh my God. How did they get home?
I asked her, she was like, I'm just your ride here. I am dropping you off.
Yeah.
She's like, and then
She called her
fucking
boyfriend
left.
come pick her up from the jail.
Oh my
Girl.
God.
Layers.
Wow.
That's upsetting.
Wow.
That's an upsetting date.
That's, oh my God.
Layers.
I don't like
Bitch,
that.
you better send me the story.
I think I shared it on the podcast. The guy that had a kid and his kid,
Yes.
it was his
Puked?
kid was
Yes.
home and his kid puked. Yeah.
Yeah, and I shared one, or one of us shared one. I think it was me, where like she spent the night with that guy, and then his kid like came in the morning and wanted to like use them like a fucking jungle gym.
Yeah.
I was like,
No,
what the
thank you.
fuck, you guys? Like, you have to disclose that information.
You have to
You can't let it
disclose.
be a surprise.
Yeah.
Do you know how also, and I don't mean this in any kind of derogatory way, but surprise kids can be very creepy. Like, if you're not expecting that, like, we have been conditioned to think that like kids are synonymous with like scary in scary movies. I don't want to turn a corner and see an 8-year-old in a dressing gown.
No,
Like, I will freak
I
out.
punch when I'm scared. I punch hard when I'm
Yes.
scared.
I'm like,
Yeah.
why
I'm
are
gonna
you
punch
here?
your kid.
You got to warn me that there's going to be a kid if I turn a corner.
Yeah. And honestly, like as a parent, like don't bring a fucking stranger into
your
their house. when you
Especially
have
without,
kids.
communicating to all parties involved.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
no bueno. Okay, you guys. So we've been getting an influx of stories, which is fucking great.
Great. Keep them coming, please.
Yes, so much. So if you sent us a story, we are going to get around to reading it. You know,
It may take
it
a
may
while.
take a while, but it's a coming. So this one got sent in a little bit ago. It's a follow up to the Joe Dirt story.
Oh,
Amazing.
I don't remember what episode that was on, but it was one of our
Earlier Yeah.
episodes. And I think it's actually in the title. I think it's in the title of the episode.
I think so too.
So go back and find that, because that story was.
Oh my God, we were crying, laughing.
I think he had
He had a wolf shirt.
It was like a wolf muscle shirt or some shit.
Yeah, and like a big belt buckle, red cowboy boots, and like spandex, like
Honey
bike
went
shorts
all in
to go to the
on
movies.
this look.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's extreme.
It's a Luke.
Yeah. So she writes in, hey ladies, I've been sitting on a couple old stories that I'm going to hopefully send in soon, but I think I'll start with this shorty that happened recently. I took a break from dating for a while last year, but now I'm starting to get back into it. So once you've been dating a while, you develop almost a routine of sorts. Interesting factoids about you, quippy responses to common questions, and most importantly, your go-to stories.
I can
Your type
totally
5.
see that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
your type 5. Like, what about me is like interesting? I was actually having a kind of funny like debate, not a debate, but like at work today, we had like a team lunch or whatever, which immediately I'm like, I don't know. But we were driving in Burbank and there was a psychic. And the psychic, it was like $35 special. And
Yeah.
I was like, who the fuck is spending $35 for a tarot card reading or whatever? I was like,
Right.
I was like, that's so silly. And they were like, would you spend any money on a tarot card reading? And I was like, I don't know, like kind of for fun. It would be kind of fun to like see what somebody would say,
Yeah.
like what their first like impressions of you would be. I think like that's kind of like interesting. And I think it's similar to like your first date situation where you're like, what's the most interesting things like about me, or like
Right.
what would you perceive about me that I can like regurgitate back to you
Oh yeah, absolutely.
for a first date?
I definitely identified with that. I had it down to like a routine. Yeah, the stories you pick out, everyone asks the same questions. No one's really interesting. But yeah. So that really got me. Well, as I'm sure will surprise no one, the Joe Dirt story from episode 20. There she
you
goes.
go.
She
She called it out for you.
there you go.
Episode 20 is one of mine. So I'm on this date a couple weeks ago. It's going okay, but I'm not really feeling it. He unfortunately appears to be one of the many men that are way better by text than in person. Some people really excel behind a screen. That's disappointing. But I can see he's nervous and really trying, so I'm attempting to loosen him up a bit. He asks if I want to do some shots. I agree to 1. He does 3.
Oh, wow.
In rapid fire succession.
Oh, no.
Yikes on bikes.
Have you ever like? I feel like that's dangerous territory. Like I don't think I would ever outdrink somebody on a date like
No.
that. Not like that. Like maybe have like an extra glass of wine or something, but never like.
No.
I never
not
did
3 shots.
I never did shots on
Never.
a date. Just because
Never.
I mean it just doesn't feel safe.
Safe.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But
Well, and a 3 to
Well, that's
1.
the difference between a guy and a girl.
But I mean,
We
even
just
with a
talked
guy,
about it,
I'm just
yeah.
like a 3 to 1 ratio of like
Anything.
drinks. I feel like is insane.
I also
Yeah.
don't know what would happen if I took 3 shots like in rapid fire
think I'd
succession.
die.
I don't think that I've ever done that. Like 1, 2, 3 kind of thing.
I
Like
think I'd
how my
die.
body would process that. I feel like 25 minutes later I'd feel a little
I don't know if I've ever done rapid succession, but I've definitely done we're playing drunk Jenga and
Yeah.
3 times on my turn, which is a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't think it ended super well.
He's starting to laugh and joke with me, though, so I just go with it and decide it's time to tell the story. He's having all the appropriate reactions until I get to the part where I say, and then the awkward touching started. Oh, yeah, because
That's right.
that was the
No.
thing where he was just like
Yes.
lightly grazing her arm.
I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about
I know.
that.
I remember how awkward it was because I'm like, I don't like strangers touching me. And if you've already on a date with somebody that you're kind of not feeling, when they start lightly
That's
caressing
so much
you,
worse.
I hate
Like I
it.
almost would rather you like actually full palm like touch me.
Yeah,
Than
yeah.
like do this
But
thing
just,
where it's like the tips of your
fingers.
fingertips like just
Ugh.
grazing. Like oh my god, I'm so grossed out.
It's just awful.
Yeah.
So then she says, y'all, he interrupts me and says, what, you mean like this? And he starts poking me,
No.
like jabbing me all over the place with
No.
one fingertip. Let me tell you something. That is so.
That's a way to break a finger.
Don't fucking poke me. Don't
hate
fucking
that.
poke me. I hate that. I hate it. I hate it so much. So She says, like jabbing me all over the place with one fingertip, the way you harassed your siblings when you were kids. That must be why I hate it so much. Why are you touching me? Why are you touching me?
you.
I'm not touching you. Ah! Oh my God. I'm so shocked. He ends up poking me 2 or 3 times before I get out. Whoa, what? No. You think he'd stop then, right? Nope.
Okay.
He keeps on poking me. I say, yo, what are you doing? Knock it off. Dude face keeps on poking me.
Here's what it is for me.
Let
it's
it
like
go.
because the poking part, I'm like, if it was to demonstrate a point, like was it like this? I'd be like, okay, I mean, it's fine. Like I don't love it, but it's not terrible. But at that point, what that is to me, I do not like being like fucked with. Yeah. And at this point, it's like you're fucking with me. Yeah. It's like you're doing it to be annoying. Yes. And when people do that, I have zero patience for that. I'm like, I'm a grown fucking woman, and like you're pulling my ponytail on the fucking like playground, and I'm not here for that at all. So do not poke me.
You can tell, you can tell by my expression, this isn't enjoyable. I've fucking told you with my big girl words that I don't like this. That's right. So motherfucking stop. Like, I don't.
You can read it, and if you don't, to me, that says that you're so unaware of like other people's like reactions and emotions that I'm like,
no. Yeah, it's not going to work. So I finally say very firmly, I don't like being poked. Please stop. Motherfucker keeps on poking me.
Oh my God, you're going to break a finger. Seriously.
So I slapped his hand hard as he came in for the next poke. Yep. That finally gets his attention. He goes, ow, what did you do that for? I said,
I'm sorry, I'm going to have a bruise where you wouldn't stop poking me in the arm.
I said, yeah, I really don't think this is going to work out. Paid my tab and left.
Yeah, goodbye.
Goodbye. Yeah. No.
Jesus.
Fucking
she also,
weirdo.
this same person, she had written something in our Facebook group about how she had gone on a date recently where she told the Joe Dirt story. Yeah. And the person she told the Joe Dirt story to didn't crack a smile even one time. And I was like,
psycho?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
not have a sense of humor.
Is he a sociopath?
All?
Like, you have to get out of that immediately.
Yeah.
Robot.
He's like,
Robot.
I have that shirt. Why is that funny?
I think that bike shorts and red cowboy boots are a good look.
I also like caressing strangers that don't like me.
In fact, I only touch with gentle fingertips. It's the only way I communicate.
Gentle fingertips is so cringy.
Oh my God.
That's the fucking worst.
I hate it. Okay.
I just got all the goosebumps.
I know. I'm sickened. Okay. The subject is the date that I think I ruined, maybe. I love your podcast and have been binge listening to it at work for weeks. Aww. I work third shift in manufacturing. Anyway, the date I think I ruined isn't a date that I was on. Backstory. 2 friends of mine, yes, I know both people, were dating each other. Let's call them Keith and Jamie. I met Keith first as I used to drill with him, and I met Jamie when I worked at a restaurant. Keith and Jamie eventually started dating each other. I had introduced them. Anyway, on a summer day, they decided to spend the day together as they both had the day off. They went for a walk at a local state park. I wasn't witness to this. I was told about it later. Anyway, Keith called me as the park was super close to my apartment, so they asked if I wanted to hang out for a bit before their later plans. They were both friends of mine, so I invited them over to my apartment to hang out. This is such a you're young and like no one knows how to date, right? And you're just like, I don't know, we're nearby her house. Do you want to go hang out with her for a little while? On your date. I had them come over to my apartment to hang out as I was broke and couldn't afford to meet them anywhere. I let them know that I needed to shower. So my roommate and or his girlfriend, now wife, may be the ones to let him in. I was just getting into the shower when they arrived. They made themselves at home while they patiently waited for me to finish up. Like on their date,
they're waiting for some dude to get out of the shower.
I think it's a woman. But yeah, to get out of the shower. While I was washing my hair, I feel something trickle my hand.
No,
I tickle my hand. I shook my hand thinking it was a chunk of hair. I look down and I see a freaking spider.
Oh my God. I knew it. I got chills.
Terrified of spiders.
Oh my God. Dude, did she fucking throw herself through the plate glass shower door?
Needless to say, I got so scared. I ran out of the shower, nearly slipped and hit my head/face on the bathroom sink while screaming at the top of my lungs, "Spider, spider, spider, someone fucking kill it." I ran out of the bathroom into the living room completely naked, soaking wet, and shampoo running down my face. My roommate, let's call him James, went in to kill the spider. At this point, it had washed down the drain. Keith and Jamie were laughing, which if I were them, I would be laughing too.
Yeah.
James let me know the spider was gone. Keith, being who he is, says in the most sarcastic, joking tone, Thanks for the show.
Oh my God.
I don't know if I ruined their date or not, but even then, it was still funny. I still laugh at it, and James and his wife have yet to let me live it down. Several months later, Keith and Jamie broke up. I don't think it was because of that day, so that's a plus.
That's a plus.
Hope you had a great laugh at this story. It still makes me smile. I have to say, two times this has happened. One time, the first time I took Anthony home, we were staying, there was an apartment underneath my parents' house, and it's like technically the basement.
Yeah.
And we were staying down there with my brother, and there's a bathroom down there, and it's still a basement, even though it's like an apartment. So there are like crickets and shit.
Ugh.
I was in the shower. My brother wasn't home, and it was just me and Anthony down there. And I got in the shower, and a cricket fucking jumped at me.
No.
And it was like
No.
a big one.
No.
Like a big one. And I jumped out of that shower. I ran into the other room, and I was like, you have to go in there and kill it. Like, I cannot, or not kill it, just like get it
out.
Get it out.
away.
Get it out.
But
And-
just kill it. So
And
it
then
can't
I
come
went to
back.
it happened again. I was at my grandparents' house, and I was in the shower. I went to get in the shower. This is so deeply upsetting. A cockroach, like a big one, like a
God.
1-inch one. It fell from the shower curtain. Because I moved the shower curtain to get into the bathtub. It fell from the shower curtain into the bathtub. I like stepped back calmly. I like wrap myself in a towel. Like all my relatives are like out in the living room. I'm in a towel, and I like went out there and I was like, "Excuse me," and my mom immediately, because she was there, she's like, "It must be a bug." It's the only reason she came out here, and she went in and killed it for me. I was like 29, and I had my mommy go kill a cockroach for me. I was like, I can't do it. Can't do it.
Nope.
I was on top of a gentleman in
No.
my apartment.
No.
And we were in the throes of a good old-fashioned
Fuck fest.
Huck Finn reading. No, of course, yeah, we were doing it, and his eyes were closed, and I was riding him, and I look at the wall directly behind my bed and see a cockroach that was the size of a fucking dinner plate
Fuck
in
you.
my fucking
No.
apartment. Literally just like, what up? What's up with that? Like across the wall. And so I'm writing him like, oh my God, please keep your eyes closed.
We are
Please
done.
keep your eyes closed, because I don't
Christina.
want you to know that I've never seen a
No.
fucking roach in my apartment, because Villain eats them. And so I'm like, how has he missed this big motherfucker? Because it's like almost as big as my cat. And so I'm like, oh my God, please don't open your eyes and see that there's a cockroach in my apartment. But it's literally like it could fall onto his
Did
head.
you finish?
I
No.
mean, I didn't. I faked like I did, but I waited until it literally had crawled and passed. I made
No.
sure to like wait,
No.
and I was like, eyes on me. But I'm watching that motherfucker in my peripheral.
You got like a mad eye, moody eye that's just like rotating, watching. You're like, one eye on you, one eye over here, fucking watching this fucking
I need to
goddamn
make
cockroach.
sure this thing's not plotting my
Absolutely
death.
not. I have such a fucking one time. I know we're going off on a whole tangent, but like one time I was watching a movie at my house, and whenever I was a teenager at my parents' house, I was in my bedroom and I was watching it on my computer screen. And so I was sitting at my computer desk watching this movie. And of course, it was dark and light draws cockroaches. This cockroach was so big. It was so big. It was like an inch and a half.
Oh, I know.
It was
They're
an inch and a
fucking
half.
terrifying.
And it walked across the screen. So it was like illuminated. I legitimately, I was like, nope. I got my shit. I left my room.
Yeah,
like that
burn it
cockroach
down.
kicked me out of my bedroom. I was like, goodbye. I went and slept on the couch. I went and slept on the couch. I was like, I can't do
Dude,
it.
when bugs are that big, like I'm not
I'm
bug
shook, you guys.
No.
I am
No.
shook.
I know. But they're so big out here. They're fucking enormous. They're
Well,
so
yeah,
scary.
they're big in Missouri too. Because Lord,
Yeah.
I was like, absolutely fucking not. Like, you can have it. This room is yours now. You claimed it
You
in the
live
name of
here.
Spain. It's for you.
You live here.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, sorry, Cassie. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Thankfully, my story does not include bugs.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
thank you so much.
But it is a crazy in love. And I got this story from A Wedding and a Murder.
Yes.
On Oxygen?
I fucking
Also,
love all of those
Oxygen
shows.
is becoming my new like go-to.
It's your ID.
Well, I
It's
don't
Oxygen
have.
and ID.
I don't have IDs. I only have oxygen.
I've only told you 1,000 times you
I
could
know,
borrow
but
my thing.
I've
and
told you it doesn't work. Like,
Yeah, it doesn't.
You can do it on your phone.
yes, but okay,
Who
anyway.
wants to?
Alright,
It's
okay.
it's
I
TV.
watched it on my phone all the time. Anyway, and then also I listened to a podcast about this called Crime Beat with Nancy Hixt. So this was, I never even heard of Crime Beat, but I was like, okay.
Thanks, Crime Beat.
Thanks,
Hey.
Crime Beat. It's actually pretty good. So this is a story of Shannon Medill. She grew up in Calgary, Alberta. Shannon was a fun.
It's just a Canadian, like a
I know, this is
Canadian
like-
heavy episode. I feel like yeah, a lot of Canada talk.
This is like the second Canadian story I've told, and both of those guys were from Calgary.
Hmm.
Is Calgary like their Pacific Northwest? Is that where all of them are?
I don't know.
Let us
but
know, Canadian listeners.
Let us know. So, Shannon, fun, outgoing, big personality, which led well into her aspirations to become an actress. So she's like described by everyone. I mean, they show videos of her like as like she is the life of the party. She's like even during like graduation, she's like, you know,
Kind of a ham, but in like a way that everyone likes her.
exactly.
Yeah.
A total ham, like a total actress. She's the youngest of 4 children, and she was very close to her family. So in late November 2014, when she didn't show up to a dinner with her brother, her family grew concerned. Shannon lived with her husband, Josh Burgess, and they had met, and it was a case of opposites attract. Shannon was this bubbly, big, life of the party, like we said, actress, while Josh was more of like a quiet, shy type. He was very laid back, super quiet, family.
Bodies in the basement.
Yeah,
I'm like, he did it.
immediately. I know we've been trained. I'm like, this is an Oxygen show. Oh God, yeah, you did it. Like,
The family, as well as Shannon's agent, both say that there is like a great match. He was like super supportive of her career, and he was like very into her, and like the family just like fell in love with him right away. I mean, it was a great fit.
Yeah.
And Josh took a job in downtown Calgary so that Shannon could spend her days going to auditions and sometimes making trips up to Edmonton to do auditions as well. So Alberta's, you know, just over from BC, Calgary's south, Edmonton's north. It's about like 2 hours distance, I
Okay.
think, between the two.
all right, so it's like us and San Diego,
Yeah.
like LA to San Diego kind of situation.
Exactly.
All right.
So you know, every once in a while she'd have to go up to Edmonton to do auditions there as well. Both decently sized cities. Josh and Shannon had a very unique relationship in that that was by all accounts very trusting and open from the beginning. Shannon, they decided from the beginning of the relationship that they wanted to have an open relationship.
That's
Oh,
great.
Maybe he didn't do it.
Yeah.
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 So Shannon, she preferred like these kind of short flings, and Josh was kind of more into like a traditional mistress. Like he's like, I just kind of want to
Like one person,
One person.
like a side, like one side chick.
Like one side chick's gonna do it for me.
Yeah.
And
he's a busy man. He's like, I can't juggle all these people.
They're both
It's
on
enough.
dating apps, and they're both well aware that they're both on dating apps, and they're both completely fine with their relationship the way it is. This kind of open relationship. So Erin, who's Shannon's sister, starts to reach out to the family once they do hear that she's missing. She starts reaching out to family, coworkers, and that's when a clearer picture kind of starts to form. Not only had she missed dinner with her brother, but between November 27th and December 1st, she had missed auditions, callbacks, parties, all with different groups, so no one was aware or alarmed. So you see what I'm saying? Like, so a callback with this thing, an
the
audition
downfall
here.
of an extrovert, where it's just like you have got too much shit going on.
You have
You've got too many groups.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So she's got parties with this group that doesn't necessarily hang out with this group, so this group doesn't know. So not all these things are connecting that.
So they're not feeling, because they're not feeling super, super concerned yet.
Well, they didn't know that she had missed so much stuff at this
their
point.
husband should have known.
Well, so during this time, Josh and Shannon had been going through a split. Shannon was looking at places in Edmonton because she had been offered a job there. So she wouldn't have to commute back and forth. And though it kind of felt amicable, they tried to stay out of each other's way just to kind of be respectful of each other's space.
So was this like a trial separation, or was it like they were headed towards divorce?
They were heading towards divorce at this point, from all accounts.
Okay.
They were kind of this was
But
the end of their
amicable
relationship.
split by
It seemed somewhat amicable. However, again, they were kind of like, we're not going to try to cross paths at the same time. So we're going to try to like also kind of steer clear from each other,
wise in a lot
give
of
each
ways.
other space. Yeah, exactly. So they are sharing the same roof, but there's also times when she's not going to be home.
Right.
So you're saying like it could be understandable that he might not realize that anything's amiss.
Right.
Like maybe
they're not
he's
communicating.
Right. He's
and-
trying to stay out of it. Maybe he's trying to be cool. Even if he had any like suspicions or worries, he might try and push those away because he's like giving her her space. I'm letting her do her thing. Yeah.
And again, so like when Erin calls and it really wasn't that out of line again for them to have missed connections or whatever. So he's like, I haven't seen her. And so but he does end up finding her cell phone is still in the house.
Yeah.
So her dog is still there. Their dog that they got
Huge red
together.
flag. Your
Her cell phone
phone's
is
still
there.
at home?
The car that she was driving at the time was there. So it was like all very suspect because it's like, okay, well, she's clearly not in Edmonton that we know of.
Right.
But the family too, there was some talk on the show on Oxygen that there had been a past incident in which she had tried to commit suicide. Like there was like a depression episode in which he had thought she was going to, and kind of talked her off a ledge. 911 was called, all this stuff. And so there were some things in the past that also kind of were being like, well, maybe she just ran away. Maybe she decided to just go to New York. I don't know. Maybe she decided to like go pursue her career. And there was like all these speculation, not just from Josh, but just from everybody, the family,
this is
everybody.
why it's important to set up. I had a whole conversation with my mom where I was like, Mom, I will not just disappear. I was like, if I'm gone for a significant period of time and nobody knows where I am and people are like, hey, maybe she just went to start a new life, I'm promising you right now, I will fucking tell you. Like if I will tell at least my mom. I will be like, look, I'm not telling anybody else, but I'm telling you, like, I have to get away. And like, this is the thing I'm doing. And so if you don't hear from me, it's because like I'm choosing to do this thing.
Right.
Well,
and then when we call Tammy, she's like, don't worry. She's not
She called me.
disappeared.
Yeah.
But she does not want to be found. And I'm not going to
communicate that. You have to have a plan in place.
That's right. So that being said, there wasn't a plan in place. And so everybody's like, where the fuck did she go? Maybe she went to New York. Maybe she went wherever. But her agent, they spoke to her on the show and they're like, her agent's like, you're not going to just move to New York or Vancouver or wherever and not have your agent be involved with that and not go to callbacks and not go to auditions.
Right.
That's not how this works.
If their speculation is that she's moving for her job, like you're moving to New York for your career, you would at least tell your agent, even if you didn't tell the people who are around you, because like that's the person who's going to help you like
that's right,
move on to the next step.
Get that connection.
Yeah.
Right. It's the most illogical stuff. So at any rate, Erin, having exhausted all of her efforts at this point, she's reached out to everyone. Erin, the sister, she reaches out to the police. The police held a press conference. Sorry, but within 2 weeks, leads were going nowhere. So right away, they were like, "Okay, there's been enough time between her being missing and now, and this is like." She may be out there. We got to figure out what's going on.
Right.
So this press release, it's Shannon, her brothers, and her mom and sister, and or
Erin.
Erin is the sister of Shannon.
Yeah, so it's Erin and her brothers and her mom.
Brothers and her mom, and then Josh.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So they're all there at this press conference. Erin's speaking for the family. She's like explaining to everybody, like, this is my sister, showing pictures, like, if you've seen her or Shannon, if you're out there, please let us know. You're not in trouble. We just want you to reach out.
I can't think of anything more scary. Like your sibling
just missing.
The kind of like love you have for your siblings is like unlike, and like it's a different kind of love than you have for other people. And I cannot imagine like if the fear, like if my sibling was missing or if something had happened, like it would be so like
you just have nothing but questions.
Yeah.
There's a book I read when I was young. I think it was called A Year Without Michael. And it was the story of a family coping with the fact that like her brother basically like went to a baseball practice and never came home.
Jesus.
Spoiler alert, they never found out. So
I don't like that.
That's not
a good book.
The whole family just has to deal with
not knowing.
And I'm like,
it's the worst.
That's a lovely book.
Terrifying.
The worst. Oh my God, it's the worst. And like, and just knowing how much I love my brothers, like it would kill me. Like if something like that happened, like, oh God, it would be so awful.
It's one thing to lose someone, but to not know where they're
know where they are.
It would drive me insane.
The missing is, it's got to be harder than losing someone, because there is a finality to that. There's no end.
Right. Because you can also think, I mean, think
you
about
can speculate for the rest of your life.
Think about, what was it? Like Jamie Smart? No, Elizabeth Smart. Jamie, what's
Elizabeth
her face?
Smart.
No, it was Elizabeth Smart, but then there was Jamie, what's her name?
Jamie Kloss.
No, there was one who was missing for 20 years, and then they found her.
Right, yeah.
They
I think
found
that
her.
was Elizabeth Smart.
No, Elizabeth Smart was the Elizabeth Smart was the woman from Utah. She's from Utah. They found her after like a couple of years, or like 9 months or something like that. But there was another woman who
remember the ladies
was
in Cleveland?
taken. Yeah, they were taken. She was taken when she was 12, and they found her 20 years later. And like, can you imagine? Because it's just like,
I can't even watch The Room.
In order for you to like cope and be able to move on, you would have to. I think you would have to be like, well, they're dead. I think you would have to.
Confinement, I think, is the scary thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm a peacock. I gotta fly.
Anyway,
so this is 2 weeks later after the press conference. Leads are going nowhere. Finally, they get a lead. Someone is walking through a local park and finds these pictures hanging on trees. It's a woman with red hair. So Erin has natural, beautiful red hair. It's this woman, and it's red hair covering her face with like flowers, and you can't see the face because it's obscured by all this red hair.
Oh no.
And they're like, oh my God, does this have something to do with this missing person? So
why is that so frightening that it's just like pictures on a tree in a forest?
Horrifying.
It's fucking scary, right? So
I also want to point this out. I'm so sorry, but I know that there are people yelling at their fucking like whatever they're listening to, their radios right now. It's JC Dugard.
Yeah.
She was missing for 20 years.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I just had to
you're
do
like, I need to
because
know this.
that's me when I'm listening to podcasts. I'm just like, get the answer, and it makes me insane.
You're like, it's JC Dugard. It's JC. All right, so this spurns like this huge search into this wooded area. Police asked for any info from the family too. They were like, she's had headshots done. Do we know any of these photographers? Could this be like a photographer that she has worked with in the past?
I have been to so many shady. Like one time, I took time off.
Ocala.
I took time off work to do this photo shoot, and then I got there. I called Anthony because I got there and it was this house. It was a house, and they didn't tell me it was going to be a house. And I felt so unnerved. I called Anthony while he was at work, and I was like, I don't feel good about this. And I went home.
Good.
Because I was just like, I was just like, I don't trust this. It feels like so uncomfortable. But that type of thing can happen. It happens all the time.
Trust your gut. Trust your gut.
Yeah.
Trust your gut. Always. You never know. It may have been nothing, but it may have been something. Always trust your gut.
Yep.
So they're looking into like these photographers, etc. So it turned out though to only be just a coincidence that they had a red-haired model. It was from a local art school that had done this project, and so this was all part of this like art school project they had seen on the news. This school had seen on the news, and they're like, oh shit, that us.
Oh.
So that lead also led nowhere. But this is like the first real lead, because literally nothing is leading it nowhere. Leading nowhere. Josh and Shannon's relationship, though, to kind of backtrack a little bit on where they were in their relationship, had dissolved when a fight between them had exposed some of their fissures in their relationship. Shannon had suggested the idea of closing their relationship temporarily, just to kind of on a short-term basis, so that they could focus on their issues, really discuss things, find out what was going on, and really kind of dig deep to, like, both of them want to save their marriage. Let's not focus on anybody else right now. Let's focus on us, and then we can get back to whatever was working.
Smart.
She was trying to eliminate distractions. Like that makes sense. Yeah.
And Josh was really hesitant through this to drop this side girlfriend, because, for him, it's not just like a one-off deal. Like, he actually has like a
And that makes sense too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I see it from both sides, because it might be easier for her to be like, okay, we need to close this, because like she's having
one-off flings.
Whereas like he's having a long-term relationship with
That's
somebody.
right.
Yeah.
And so at the time, he's just like, yeah, I'll do that. But he never did. And so it kind of became a back and forth of him trying to hide something. And in the long
doesn't
run,
work for Polly. Yeah.
No, it didn't work. And, and so that was the end. That's why they had gotten to this place where they were just like, you know what? Yes, it may be somewhat amicable, but they both were just like, we're clearly not in the same.
They were
headspace.
hurt. Yeah.
Now there's feelings involved. And she, even though too, like, she knew the girlfriend, and she even reached out to the girlfriend, was like, hey, I just want to let you know, Josh and I want to take a temporary time out, like, where we're going to, keep our relationship inclusive. I'd really appreciate your respect in this decision, etc. So, and that, it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
You're including
Feelings.
another person's feelings, another person's emotions, another person's life involved in this. So,
I don't have anything to say about this.
No. I've noticed how quiet you've been. It's very weird. Police, knowing this is the aspect of their relationship, determined that, there's multiple players in this, situation.
Yeah.
And they did several, issues, kind of reaching out, finally determining, from like, reaching out to all these different partners, all these people. I don't want to say it like that, because it made it sound like these different partners.
No.
But there's a lot more people involved in this relationship.
It's not just like it's the husband. The husband did it.
Right.
Yeah.
There's other
No, I
people.
don't think that sounds judgmental at all. Like in this case, there's going to be a lot more footwork.
That's right.
Because there are more people to talk to. There's more people to track down. And as we know, we do a Crazy in Love segment. Like passion, love, emotions, these things can
you never know.
People do crazy things.
Yeah.
And like you do have to track down all those leads. You're like,
Right.
was there a scorned lover? Did somebody take this more seriously than she
they
did?
should've.
Right.
Yeah. Was there an obsession factor going on in this? Like, that's just good police work.
That's right.
Yep.
Well, after all that police work, it literally led nowhere. Everybody's got great alibis. Everybody's like locked down. Nothing is making sense. And still they're just like, what in the hell is going on? Like, why can't we track this girl down? And there's no digital footprint after the 27th. So it's not like she's been on her phone. She's not using credit cards. She's not doing anything.
Whoa.
So they finally are like able to determine from her phone call or cell phone records that her last movements were in her apartment in that area on the 27th of November. Again, last time anybody had heard from her. And everything kind of kept coming back to Josh. He had been really the last person to see Shannon. They had interviewed him 4 times though, and had searched the house 2 times. They had, and just hadn't gotten any answers.
Right.
The lead detective, Christina Witt.
Hey,
Christina
Detective
Witt.
Christina.
She's a boss bitch. She is.
Yep.
She was certain that nothing was adding up. She was just like, this, we've interviewed this guy 4 times. We've searched the house twice, but it still keeps coming back to Josh. There's like nothing. Where else could it be going?
Right.
Like literally, this is the last person to have seen this person alive. Nothing makes sense. So she, as time's moving by, again, there's no footprints of life, as she describes it in quotes. Like, this is Christina Witt saying there's no footprints of life. Again, basically increasingly more certain that she's dead at this time. They were able to obtain another search warrant and seize Josh's phone and Shannon's car. So this is the 3rd time they're going to be searching the place. July 2015, while trying to execute the search warrant, Josh would not come to the door. So Christina's there. She's knocking on the door. Nobody's answering. Finally, she's like, tries to call him on his phone, and he finally answers his phone. He's inside the house, and during the call, he's extremely stressed out. He's like, I'll be there. I'm going to come to the door. I just don't have any pants on right now. So I'm going to go change real quick. So it's a lot of like slow baiting. Like, what are you doing? Stalling.
It feels like stalling. But I mean, also in my mind, I'm like, I don't know. In a situation like this where like they're at your house for a 3rd time, I could see it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. But on that phone call, the stress leads to him to blurt out to Christina Witt that he did kill his wife.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
So,
like, I mean, why?
How?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
So after that, then she's like, shit, this guy's confessed to murder to me on the phone.
He's going to kill himself.
He's either going to kill himself or he could kill us.
Yeah.
Right.
We got to stand.
He's got
him.
He seems like a kill himself if he's been stalling for that long.
Well,
An
hour and a half later after of the standoff, he comes to the door finally. He's covered in blood. He had tried to kill himself with a Swiss Army knife.
With a Swiss Army
I'm
knife.
sure
In
you
the
have
neck.
other things.
Do you not have another
in the
knife in your
house.
home? What do you cook dinner with?
Yeah.
So it is the shallowest of wounds.
Yeah.
However, he is sent to the hospital for his couple stitches.
Oh, poor baby.
After his release from the hospital, he was arrested and interviewed by the police. He had been told by his lawyers not to speak, and that's kind of what he does. They keep interviewing him. Eventually, they have cadaver dogs have been employed to the house. So the dogs had hit in multiple spots, including a shovel and a spot in the private fenced front yard. I'm explaining that it's a private fenced front yard because they showed it on TV, but they don't explain. And it just sounds like somebody's digging up a fucking hole in the front yard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like one of those, it's like a unit that all of them look the same, but they have like those big, tall fences in the
I
front
see.
yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like privacy fences.
Yeah.
Big,
Like
tall
privacy
picket fences,
fence.
essentially. Yeah.
Exactly. And this is where they recovered Shannon's body.
Oh.
Finally, Josh revealed. So he hadn't even said anything until finally they had found the body. And they're like, so finally Josh revealed that what happened. He had come home from being out with his girlfriend. He's like, I had an amazing night. And he's like super quiet. You can actually hear like the tape. It's actually pretty wild. You're like, no, thank you. I'll just tell you then.
No, thank you, please.
He came home from a night out with his girlfriend. His girlfriend dropped him off. Shannon was on the couch watching a movie. He asked if she wanted to have, quote, angry makeup sex.
What the fuck is wrong with
What
you,
is wrong
sir?
with guys?
After.
Oh my God.
And they did. And so she agreed. And she was like, fuck yeah, we'll have some
Again,
fucking
I
angry
don't
sex.
have the energy to take my socks off, let alone like I'm in the middle of watching like while you were sleeping here on the couch. Like I am not trying to get up and have sex with you right now. Like I'm busy.
Oh my God. Didn't you just come from somebody else?
Yes. Yes.
He's in love with his wife and he wants to have angry makeup sex.
Yeah.
So they're having like pretty aggressive sex and she was into it. And he was like, we don't have to have angry sex. We can just make love. And she's like, what are you fucking talking about? We're through. And it becomes clear that Shannon had thought he had said angry breakup sex, not makeup sex. So this spin out turned into a huge knockdown drag out fight. And she had told Josh that she regretted even marrying him and that she could have done this alone and didn't need him. He covered her mouth because he said he just wanted her to stop talking.
Okay. Every time I hear this, because I've heard this many times, like in Crazy in Loves, where I'm just like, do you know how long you have to hold someone's mouth and nose?
It doesn't even end there because she bites him.
Oh, good.
She bit his hand and started screaming. So he started choking her until his hands got tired. And once his hands got tired, he started using a belt for hours. So even after she is
that's frightening.
After she's dead, he is still choking her.
That is anger.
Wait.
Anger for why? Like she tried to repair their relationship. Like why the fuck is he so mad?
Maybe
like,
she says salmon.
Oh, Jesus.
There's all little, like, in a long-term relationship, especially one that's ending, it's like death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Oof.
There are all these like little things.
What a
that
real
just,
life thing. Death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Anger builds like that, rage, that kind of thing. It's just like all these little tiny things that like you can't even explain at the end of it.
Yeah, and now that it's all coming to a head, he's like, he still loves her. He's saying, let's have makeup sex. She's like, fucking no. And I don't need you. And you're a piece of shit. And I regret ever being with you.
I mean, I understand that. I get it. And I understand being hurt. Like we've all been hurt. I don't understand. Like I truly don't. I don't think that anyone, and I've been hurt, and I don't think that anyone could ever hurt me bad enough that I could feel that kind of like rage. Like I don't think so. Like to me that is so fucking ridiculous. Like I'm like, grow up. It's so
I think
ridiculous
when you're outside of it. I'm not saying I could ever be this angry to fucking strangle somebody for 2 hours.
I'm sorry, you just came home from your girlfriend's a date with your girlfriend. Like she gave you an opportunity to repair this. If it was that important to you, that you can get this mad about it ending, you had an ability to fix it and you chose not to. So how important was it to you really? And like, so then I'm like, what is it? Is it your fucking ego? Like, what is it that's like making you?
I mean,
spin
it
out?
probably is a lot of ego. Yeah. It probably is. I mean, you're being told that this relationship that you love, that you've
Get
been
over
happy.
yourself.
Who knows
You're
the
not
financial
that special.
situation?
Like,
if he's able to do it on his own, there's lots of things.
He was.
To me, there's so much entitlement in this where I'm just like, how fucking important and special do you think you are? Like you have any amount of like fucking perspective. And also so many times when we do these Crazy in Loves and it goes this direction, I'm just like, there are 7 billion people on this fucking planet.
You had 2 of them.
And do you really think that, like, yes, it hurts. It hurts. It feels bad. It feels really terrible. But it's like there's someone else out there who's clearly better suited for you. Like, you don't need to wilding out like this. Like, it's I don't know.
I mean, listening to his confession, like you hear the regret in his voice, but the fact that he didn't even confess to tell them where the body was says a lot to me.
Yeah.
The other thing is so he basically is like, he didn't want her to leave. So he decided to keep her body in a bin on the back patio. And even though they had searched the house, they never found her. She was literally in a plastic bin on the back patio. And he had just only buried the body literally a couple weeks before.
Wow.
Because the ground was too frozen and he wanted her with him.
We've told so many of these stories. I don't understand why this one is making me like rage so hard, but like this is making me so fucking mad. I'm so like, it's just
Could you
so
fucking imagine? The family was over there.
Yes,
the family
like,
was there.
It's the way that the
sister
story
was telling her, like she was saying, she was like, I saw that back patio. She's like, I saw it and it just looked like storage. She's like, I didn't even think twice.
I
and
think
she's
it's
literally passing her fucking dead
maybe
sister.
the way that I'm imagining the way that he is confessing, and I'm just like, I don't want to hear any like, oh, it was so hard. I just loved her so much. I didn't want her to go. Like all that shit. I'm like, fuck you, dude. Like,
Yeah,
fuck
it's not
you.
love.
Like, well, and her whole like what you did to everybody involved is like, it's just so like, get the fuck over yourself.
Yeah.
It's
No,
not about you.
It's pretty fucked up. Initially, he claimed not guilty. So when he was initially going through the process, like of going to court and all that, he claimed not guilty. But the day before his trial, he spared the family and pled guilty. And he was sentenced to, so he pled guilty to second-degree murder. And he was sentenced to life with the possibility of parole in 10 years.
Yikes. He's not somebody I feel comfortable passing on the street. So
10
that's
years. Can
good
you
to know.
fucking imagine? That means technically in 4 years he will be eligible for parole. Is that fucking wild?
It is wild. And it's why one of the things that makes dating so scary.
No
so,
shit.
Ugh. Good one. No, I hadn't heard that one.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah. Well done.
It's a wild story.
I'm furious.
Raging.
No. I want you guys to listen.
Oh, I'm so fucking
Because
mad.
if you listen to the other podcast I was telling you about, they actually do have they on the show too. They show him doing the interview.
I just hate this. I hate
creepy.
this like crime of passion kind of thing that we've developed where it's just like I was just so passionate and I just loved her so much and I'm like, no, fuck you. Like
Right.
you're like a fragile, your masculinity, your ego, like all of these things are so fucking fragile that you can't deal with heartbreak.
Yeah.
And the only way you know how to deal with it is violence. And like
Okay.
that's so like
right.
Ugh. Anyway, hate it. I hate it. All right, what are you guys watching?
Love is Blind. You know, that's kind of
Yeah, I
where
get it.
I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm also been Eric and I have been binging cooking shows.
Oh hell
Nice.
yes!
Oh my God, it is the best thing.
Dude.
I think it's my
like
favorite
therapy.
thing
Oh
of
yeah.
being in a relationship.
Oh fuck yeah!
Is watching food shows with your
I
boo.
have been watching The Preppy Kitchen on Netflix. I mean, not Netflix, on YouTube. He's a baker,
Nice.
and it is like there's something so soothing
It
about
is
like
soothing.
watching somebody bake or cook. Like,
Yeah.
but you're just like, God, I feel so much like more at ease. That's probably what I'm gonna do when I go home.
It's
now,
very
since I'm so
relaxing.
riled up at
Yeah.
this
It is
moment.
Not me.
yeah.
Really?
No.
Oh God.
I mean, I
fucking
do
love it.
love the Great British Bake Off, but
The Preppy Kitchen. Like he does a lot of like cake building, and I swear to God,
I do like cake
I
shows
could-
more than cooking shows.
I could watch someone like ice a cake all day. Like
Yeah, it's
smooth
kind of
a
like
cake.
visual ASMR.
Yeah.
It's true.
It is. It's
visual
so
ASMR.
like, just lovely.
What about you guys?
So I forgot this last week, but me and Anthony and your husband Chris, Cassie, and a couple of our other friends, we went and saw The Lodge,
Oh yeah.
and it's a scary movie.
Oh,
It was so good.
oh,
It
dude!
was
I know it's too scary
so-
if Keegan likes it this
Yeah.
much.
Fucking weird.
Chris told me the whole fucking thing because he's like, "You're not going to go watch it, so let me tell you the whole entire story."
There was like a Heaven's Gate element. It
Nice.
was like, it was very good. I enjoyed it. And like Anthony was out of town, so I was trying to watch movies, that I was like thinking, I'd been wanting to see this and I didn't watch it because Anthony was here, whatever. So I also watched The Beguiled while he was gone.
Okay.
It's kind of a Crazy in Love too, but it's slow. Like I'm
Okay.
like, And I also side eye movies that take place in the antebellum South that don't have any black people in it. I'm like,
Yeah.
That's
I
a
don't-
good thing to side eye.
I don't know that I trust
Yeah.
that at all.
Speaking of antebellum South,
Antebellum, hell yeah, that looks amazing. I
That
can't wait.
looks
I want to go see
real
that.
I haven't
good.
seen anything about
Janelle
it.
Monáe looks
Oh,
amazing.
I
It's the scary.
The scary.
Cassie.
No,
so
thank you.
Watch the trailer with company
Yeah.
if you're curious.
That's funny. I started listening to the podcast today that came out about Redney Alcala.
Yeah.
That is fucking
That's a wild ride.
Yeah,
and
the dating
infuriating.
show.
That story is wild.
Wow.
How about trusting your gut? How about the woman who like matched with him on the dating show and then was like, nah.
No, thank
Yeah.
you.
She met him in real life and she's like, bad vibes.
Yeah.
Not going
Good
on a
for
date
her.
with him. Yeah.
Dude, I don't want to give anything away because if you don't know, I didn't know a lot of aspects, but there were things where I was like, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
That motherfucker. Wow.
I think they're still trying to identify victims
Yeah.
from photos and stuff.
It's
It's real sad. And
Wow.
it's just really
The
sad how in
kids.
like the 70s and 80s you could just literally just drive across the country and kill people.
Yeah.
There-
Like
the very first episode, the girl that they talk about. I had no clue.
What's
I
it
had
called?
thought
The
it was
dating
women.
dating game killer?
Yep.
Okay.
I thought it was just like women.
mm-hmm.
These are like some of these are like kids,
Yeah.
little girls.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
It's
Yeah.
so
Wow,
sad.
wow,
Yeah.
wow, wow.
Yeah.
Do you, I mean, I know it's weird
It's
to
a
say this now,
good
but do you like
show.
the podcast?
I
Yeah.
love the way that they're putting it
Doing
together.
it?
It's really well.
Right.
I really like it. I like the way that they're putting it together. It's coming together really nicely. Yeah, so I am enjoying the storytelling aspect and hearing a lot of again information I didn't know. So
Yeah.
it's really good. And then as far as what I'm watching, I I was in Phoenix all week, and I was able to watch my Hulu on the TV and my Airbnb,
Nice.
and I've
Alright.
just been binging The Glow Up.
Oh, the glove. Okay.
Yeah, and
I
I
was gonna
keep falling
ask-
asleep. I'm so tired all week. I'm
I was
just like
gonna
falling
ask-
asleep to it.
If you're watching The Good Girls.
I actually
third
saw
season.
the whole first season, but I've never seen season
Oh,
two.
okay. Yeah. The third season came out, so I just started watching the third season. I fucking love those girls. That's a good fuck, marry,
That's a
kill, too.
Nice.
show.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Great show.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great show.
Well, if you guys have stuff that we should watch, if you got stories to send in, if you want to join Patreon to get all that bonus content, go to our one-stop shop of a website. It's myworstdatepodcast.com. We would love to chat with you, hang out with you, talk with you, do all the things. And we thank you so much for listening. Cheers.
This is a Glass Box Media podcast.